Alright, now what you're going to do is take your clock, and it might have a rougher feeling to it, and we're going to sand it with our 600 sandpaper. We're going to sand the entire clock. I'm not going to show you the entire clock sanding right now, but you need to sand every surface of it. And with the 600 sandpaper, when sanding with this, you need to be careful. You're just roughing it up, trying to smooth off any bumps. You don't want to sand to the point where you sand through the varnish, through the stain. Then you've sanded too much. You're just going to rough it up a little bit, and it'll kind of have it loses its shiny coat to it, and you're just going to sand the whole thing. You don't have to press very hard, but it's real important that you get every surface. It should be really, I'm not really pushing very hard, but I'm getting a little bit of varnished up. I'm just smoothing it out. This will help when we put on our second coat of varnish today, that it'll give it something to stick to. This coats adhere to one another. So make sure you do the whole thing. I'm only going to do part of it right now. With your 600 sandpaper, again, don't sand through the stain. You don't want to sand, it's just a light sanding. I'm not pressing very hard at all. Just kind of going over it in an easy fashion. Then you need to get the bucket that's found up behind here, called in the rag tag. Open it up, and there's a rag tag in it. And it looks something like this. It's really a sticky rag. And what it does, it works really well. You just have to go over what just a little bit, and it pulls up any of that film that I could wipe up with my finger. But this, it absorbs it into the rag tag. It's a very sticky rag, and it works very well for this purpose, to soak up anything. Once you've done that, make sure you throw away your sandpaper and return this to the right spot, and then we'll put on our second coat of varnish, and this will give it a much better appearance. Then go ahead and put a second coat of varnish over your clock. You can take your time. This shouldn't be a very difficult task. Make sure you clean out your brush again, and then put a second coat of varnish. Don't go quite as quickly as I've done here in the video. Just go nice and slow. Try to wipe out all the bubbles and do a very neat job. When you're done, make sure you put your clock back away in the back storage area once again. Make sure that you clean your brush out by putting it back in the Sobe jar, and put the lid tightly back on the varnish can. Clean up your station and prepare it for the next group of students for the next hour. But as you watch here, make sure you do a good job wiping off all the bubbles. Your clock will have a much better finish by doing the second coat, and be much smoother if you do a good job.